Good morning. We are here today with Omuugn talking about community. This is from the Insights and Wisdom of Omuugn. This is volume number one. Today, we're going to learn about how to create a community and how to belong to a community and some of the reasons why it's important. Please help me welcome Omuugn. How are you today?
It's a beautiful day and I'm excited.
Community, that is a really interesting topic and one that every leader needs to be aware of and understand the impact and importance of. Give us the definition of community.
Community basically is people. Whenever you have a social unit or a group of individuals who share common interests or goals, they interact with each other, they collaborate, they support each other in a lot of different ways. So, my definition of community is people getting together under whatever circumstance and interacting in a positive and encouraging way.
Well, I love that. I know that as people start looking at their social lives, oftentimes community becomes a really important part of that, where people are looking for a family outside of their family. And so they'll join a church or book club or what have you. Tell us a little bit about the importance of joining a community and what it can do for your social life.
First of all, I'd like to bring up a couple of points that I think are really important. There are people who I call movers and shakers. They're driven from inside and they want to succeed. And so they will do whatever it takes to make that successful. You'll find that there are certain people who, if a position becomes available, they will volunteer for the position.
Mm.
It doesn't matter how menial it might be. They want to help, they'll put themselves forward, they'll be involved and they'll make that thing successful. And then there are a group of people who kind of hang back. If someone else will volunteer, they're perfectly satisfied with just drifting along, doing the least amount of things that you can possibly do and still get by. So, what we're talking about in community is that you want to be a mover and a shaker. You don't want to just come in and drift aimlessly in whatever thing you're involved in. There's also a group called spectators and participants. Not everybody can be in the parade. My dad used to say, if it weren't for us on the sidelines, there wouldn't be any need for a parade. So sometimes it's good to be a spectator and support other people and encourage other people and just to be there and make the thing happen. But there are times when you need to be a participant and not just a spectator. There are certain things that are really important. And in those things, we need to be participants. We need to be movers and shakers. So sometimes you have to kick yourself in the seat of the pants. For example, I'm an introvert by nature. I'm happy working in my greenhouse, going through my plants or whatever it might be. It's hard for me to actually go out and interface with the community and ask people how they were doing. My daughter went to the store this morning and she said that while she was at the store, a lady came up to her and started showing her pictures of all of these Christmas tree ornaments. Something like that would make me very nervous. Being an introvert, it was being part of the community, interacting with people. And to the other person, it was important to share this information and to interact with someone. What we don't realize is that in communities, there's a sense of belonging. We had 19 children, and there was a lot of things going on in our house all of the time. I created my own community, so to speak. We had a neighbor who was alone, and he was very lonely. So he would love to spend time with our family because there were just always a lot of things going on. In our communities, there are people who feel isolated. Maybe not very many people call them on the phone. Not very many people interact with them in a positive way every day, and they lack connection with people. We can't connect with everyone, but we could connect with someone. I know two elderly gentlemen, they're both single, and they will call each other at 4 in the morning and they'll check on each other and see how they're doing. It's good to have someone who will check on you all of the time and be there for you. We need to be aware of those people and we need to be aware of some things that we can do, some people that we can touch, because everyone needs to feel like they fit in someplace and that they have value and that they're appreciated, that someone cares about them. That's part of what community is all about.
Would it be fair to say, though, that in your greenhouse, if one of the neighbors were to come in your space and start asking about gardening, if she was in your comfort zone, I think maybe your acceptance of just being in the space with the neighbors, although you're an introvert, might change a little bit because that's your comfort zone. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. In fact, here a while back, I had a neighbor come in that was visiting with my wife, and things were going particularly well in my greenhouse. The flowers were blooming, the hanging baskets were really beautiful. And so I went up to this neighbor and I said, "How would you like to look into my greenhouse this morning?"
Mm.
She went out into the greenhouse and she was just amazed at what was happening in the greenhouse. There are a lot of different ways that we can connect with people. So look for opportunities. There are gardening clubs and there are different Lions clubs and social clubs and bingo nights and all kinds of things. So there's a lot of activities in most communities. If you're an introvert, stretch your comfort zone a little and interact with people a little bit more.
Thank you so much for this conversation today. This was enlightening and it was enjoyable as we work through these ideas and we unpack these insights and wisdom. It helps us take an honest look at who we are as people and how we can contribute at a higher level by being the best version of ourselves. If you haven't got your copy already, we would love for you to have a copy. It is available now online. Join us again next time when we will cover the insights and wisdom of Omuugn.